there was a hell of a big trade deadline, man. Here's just a sample right here, a little link right here. This isn't like your high school picture, man. This is literally what it looked like from all the players that made moves and teams that made moves on that trade deadline on Thursday, man. Whew, there was a lot, and if you haven't known, there was one major one that affected me pretty dear to my heart here. My Dallas Mavericks made a move here that shocked not only the NBA world, but the entire sports world. So if you haven't heard yet, and this will be the 900th time this has been talked about, my man. All right, so we are going to go ahead and break this one down first. So if you haven't heard, like I said, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Hurricane. Wow, we're a little bit off. The Los Angeles Lakers.
He's excited, folks. He's excited.
Not really, but all right. So the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks made a 3-team trade here. All right, so Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris go to the Los Angeles Lakers. You heard that right. Luka Doncic is now a Los Angeles Laker. In return, the Mavs will receive Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. There's always got to be an extra team in these major deals. The Utah Jazz will get Jalen Hood, a 2025 second-round pick, a 2025 second-round pick as well from the Clippers. Man, what a trade this was. This rocked the world. G-Mike, man, I had a lot of feelings about this one. I'm going to go ahead and let you go first.
No, you go first. You go first because we all want to hear. It's your team. We want to hear how you feel about this because there's a lot of angry Dallas Mavericks fans. So I want to know if you're angry or if you're excited about this.
All right, well, we'll keep it. We'll start off here. If you look down here at the hashtag I got going on here, if you're a true Mavs fan, you get it. It's MFFL. That's a Mavs fan for life, my man. And so I've been a Dallas Mavericks fan for almost 20 years, 25 years, somewhere in that area in there. Back when Sean Bradley was playing, I've been a Dallas Mavericks fans for a long time. I've lost Nash. That hurt a lot. That one was pretty equal to this one. But we never really get a generational talent like Luka Doncic. So I'll start with saying that, yes, I'm absolutely crushed that we lost Luka Doncic. Luka was my guy. It was easy to go from Dirk to their next favorite player. I talked about Luka all the time. I got text messages as if I was Nico Harrison making the trade myself. People were checking in on me. I woke up in the morning like frantic, freaking out because it happened at like 2 in the morning East Coast time, literally losing my mind in this. And so – yes, this really crushes a lot of Mavs fans. This really crushes myself personally because I love Luka. Having said that, though, I do think that Dallas is going to make it out of this trade all right. Now, having said that as well, I think that Dallas should have got a hell of a lot more back for the trade. You don't just get Anthony Davis, who only has about 3 to 4 maybe years left because of how injury-prone he is, 1 first-round pick, and Max Christie. Max Christie's a nice player, but he's nothing that you're going to replace with a Luka Doncic. Considering you go back to the Miles Bridges trades, all these different trades that got 4 and 5 round draft picks, and we got 1 first-round draft pick in 4 years and only talked to 1 team. That's where the problem comes in for myself, is that there wasn't an option for any other team to make a better offer and get more in return. Now, for Dallas, their side, I kind of get what happened here because Dallas has had Luka Doncic for almost 6 to 7 years now. Luka Doncic was coming up on that humongous $345 to $350 million contract, which is about $70 million a year. I don't know if they were actually going to be able to afford to pay him that. And if he does not stay healthy or lose weight or lose the conditioning, then what's the point of paying this guy that amount of money? Thank you guys for checking in. I love you guys. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Patty, for checking in. Having said all that, so we got that. And Luka has been slightly immature when it comes to actually big games, man. We had them in the finals. I want to say it was game 4. Dallas still had a chance to win it. Luka's too busy trotting up the field and trotting up the court and yelling at the referees about calls that they think he should have got. That NBA finals, I think, was with the last straw for the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, he took them single-handedly on his back and brought them to the NBA finals. But in that same time, he also showed the lack of maturity and the lack of conditioning in there. He was out by the 3rd or 4th quarter, if not already in foul trouble. He has 0 defense. Anthony Davis comes in. Anthony Davis can give you points and give you rebounds, give you everything that Luka can do without all the finesse and without, Luka has better offense.
Shaw as well.
But Dallas is going to turn around and be a defensive team. If Dallas, it reminds me of a little bit what Orlando was doing. Orlando's kind of had a little bit of a fall off the last few month or so, just a lot of injuries. But it reminds me of what Orlando is doing is the fact of you have to score on them, and who are you going to score on in this team? Even Kyrie for everything that Kyrie has. Kyrie can play pretty decent defense for a point guard as well at his age. So you got Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Luka. Luka Longley. Wow, show my age on that one. Derek Lively. So I think Dallas is going to be okay. Now the problem's going to be in a couple of years from now that they're going to need to figure out where to get scoring from and to how to replace this, because Anthony Davis isn't a spring chicken anymore. Like I was saying, he has maybe 3 to 4 years left in him. But as a basketball standpoint, I think Dallas is going to be perfectly fine and might make a actual deep run in the playoffs because of the trade here. Luka hasn't really played this year, and it's got them in a little bit of a hole. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But Anthony Davis is supposed to make his debut for the Mavs on Saturday, I believe, against the Rockets. So I will pass it off to you, my man. I want to say I think that Dallas is going to be okay. I'm still repping my boys. Let's go, Mavs.
You guys are going to be okay. You guys are going to be okay. It sucks that you guys gave up Luka, because that's a generational talent, and that's a talent that you want for years and years to come, right? So for the long run, it is going to look bad for you guys, but you guys are in win now mode. You just left the NBA Finals. You played a top-tier team in the Boston Celtics where you guys barely had scoring. You had Kyrie, you had Luka. That's it. No one else was scoring the ball. Boston Celtics had Jason Tatum, KP, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, until game 3. Until
Eric
game 3.
White.
Game 3, I'll say
they had at least 7 dudes that have arsenals out there that can put at least 10 or more points inside the rim. And the Dallas Mavericks did not have it, right? And you're in win now mode. So you need more defense. You bring in Anthony Davis, you ship out Luka. These guys are thinking about, okay, Anthony Davis can give us 25 points a game. He can give us 12 rebounds a game. And he could probably give us 2 blocks a game while still playing some very pressured defense in the interior and a little bit outside in the perimeter. Yeah. He can shift very well. He's not Bam Adebayo, but he can shift very well, and he's more lengthy. And I feel like he's a little smarter than most centers in the league when it comes to defense. So that's why you bring him in, right? And Max Christie as well. He's been showing that in the Lakers, he can go out there and shoot at least 5 3-pointers and make 2, 3 of them. He could give you a good, 8 to 15 points per game, depending on how good his night has been. So it's another scorer for you guys as well. And then you guys bring in Caleb Martin from the Philadelphia Sixers, which is it's not a part of this trade, but you made another trade to bring in another.
Right, we got rid of Quentin Grimes. I liked Quentin Grimes, but I could deal with Caleb Martin, but I liked Quentin Grimes.
It just adds more defense with Caleb Martin, which is what the Dallas Mavericks are looking for. They need defense to pair up with these guys that can score: Will, Kyle Irving, Anthony Davis. And you saw it throughout the playoffs. They did work because of the offensive end, but there was no defensive end being played. You still have PJ Washington that he can play defense with the best of them as well. Yeah. And he's a good 3-point shooter too. And in the stint of Luka not playing, what was it? He wasn't playing for a month and a half?
Yeah, since Christmas.
Yeah, okay. So a month and a half, he hasn't been playing. PJ Washington really stepped up to the plate, and he was putting in work on the offensive end and the defensive end. So I see why the Mavericks did the trade, but I'm with you. I'm in a disagreement. I wouldn't trade away a generational talent like that.
I wouldn't have,
and especially that he wanted to be there, that he didn't ask for a trade. He wanted to be with the Dallas Mavericks for the rest of the
and the other problem with how Dallas did this is that it kind of almost they kind of did this dirty in a way. They kind of did it behind the scenes. They did it, behind in the dark, if you will.
They knew.
They legitimately didn't even tell anybody what was going on here. And so I feel like that, especially the NBA. The NBA is so player driven that's going to send ripples and a message through the rest of the league. There's already videos of KD on the sideline. Everybody's like, Luka got traded. What? You just don't see that ever happening in here. There's so many interesting videos of people they reacted. Actual NBA players what the hell just happened? There's no way that actually just happened right now. So I think that's going to be a problem. And if this trade doesn't work out, Nico's going to look really, really bad for Dallas.
He knows that too. He said it. He knows it. He said it's either going to work out or it's not. I guess we'll see in the upcoming years.
I mean, it's definitely not Mark Cuban's team anymore. He may quote unquote be running the team, but he's definitely not involved in stuff. I mean, hell, you go back to that quote that Mark Cuban's had that saying if it was a decision between trading Luka and getting a divorce, he said, I guess I'll go ahead and sign the divorce papers now. So Mark Cuban was not going to get rid of him. Mark Cuban was also very loyal.
It's a wild thing to say, but whatever.
Yeah, Mark Cuban was also very loyal to his team and very loyal to his players. But
not his wife.
Man, I guess not, right? I guess not. But I mean, it's still just hard, a tough pill to swallow whenever and the other wild thing about this whole thing with Luka is that they drafted him with the 6th pick. Teams passed on him, and he felt just like right. Yeah. He fell back a little bit, but still, it felt like that was our guys, either Trae Young or Luka, and they're always going to be connected. And Luka was the right pick to pick Luka. I mean, Luka's just, I think, a better player than Trae Young is. But it just felt like, all right, this is our guy. We made the trade. They went for it. I can't believe we got him. Man, it's a tough pill to swallow that Luka Doncic is not with the Mavs anymore. But it will be very interesting to see what the Lakers look like now. I think that's going to be some must-see television right there to see how this is going to work out with LeBron and Luka. LeBron has been secretly trying to get Luka he wanted to play with Luka for a long time. He's already made it very clear that Luka is pretty one of his favorite players in the league. He was saying, asked, who's your favorite player to watch in the league? And he's like, Luka Doncic. Like, not even a question asked about it. And the wild thing about this trade as well, and we were talking about the compensation a little bit ago, is that the lack coming back to Dallas, Dalton Knecht just got traded as well from the Lakers. That was their scoring rookie. Like, why couldn't he be a part of this deal, at least for Luka? Like, I just don't get why they settled for what they settled for in this, and only getting 1 first-round draft pick. Not even 1 first-round pick in 3 seconds, something along those lines. But
it was the addition of AD and Max Christie. What it really
all I can think of is that Dallas, the front office, knew something that we don't. I don't know if Luka has issues outside. Whatever, I can't speculate any of that. I think that they knew something that we didn't, and maybe that's why they pulled the trigger on this trade without telling anybody. But I still probably would not have done it. I would have maybe made it work. Nah. He's had a decent supporting cast. Kyrie is definitely the best player around him, but he hasn't his entire career. He hasn't had much. He had Jalen Brunson. Don't get me wrong, but Jalen Brunson was. VP. He wasn't turning into Jalen Brunson until he was able to leave. You saw whenever he went that that playoff run when Luka got hurt. Ironically, Luka got hurt again. But Jalen Brunson was leading the team. And then that next year is whenever Jalen Brunson went to New York, and it's Jalen Brunson we know now. So it does suck. It does suck thinking. I saw a great picture the other day. It was Porzingis, Jalen Brunson, and Luka, and they were all at Mavs at one point in time together. And barely got the chance to play because Porzingis was hurt. And, the rest is history. Obviously, you'd love to see them back together or whatever, but it is kind of ironic, man. But I don't know. Well, that is very much a TBD, man.
Yeah, so with the Lakers, right? The Lakers set themselves up for the future. I mean, the Lakers have gone from Jerry West to Kareem to or whatever the order is. But Jerry West, Will Chamberlain, Kareem, Magic Johnson, Shaq and Kobe, LeBron, and now Luka Doncic.
Yeah, it just didn't seem
the
that
Lakers are always in the sweepstakes for a star-studded player, and now they get one in return, and it's probably gonna make LeBron sign an extension, really. Like, if you really think about it, he'll probably sign another extension to stay and play.
It's kind of funny. All of a sudden, LeBron was also like, "Oh yeah, I plan on sticking around for another 2 years." It's like, I wonder why you got one of the best players in the league. Like, oh man, what a surprise!
A generational talent like this, and it's like, he liked Anthony Davis, and he's mentioned that's one of his best friends and all that. But he probably knows where Anthony Davis is at when it comes to injuries and all that. And he's older. Obviously, Luka's 26, 27.
Luka's 25. Luka's 25.
Okay. Anthony Davis is like 32, 33.
32, yeah.
So it's like the age gap there, like you're bringing in a generational talent. It's going to make LeBron want to stay. We'll see how it works out. I mean, Luka can score at will. He could grab rebounds. LeBron can do the same thing. He just dropped last night a 42-point triple-double. I mean, or a double-double. No, a 42-point double-double with 17 rebounds. Bro, at 40 years old, man, and you're playing with a generational talent like that, and Luka gets to learn under him.
Right.
It's like it's a
LA's set up. LA's so set up in this because they got Luka Doncic and didn't give up any extra draft picks. Not that they had very many to begin with, but they didn't give up. They didn't really give up.
They gave up one. They gave up one.
Right, one in 4 years. So that might work out great, but who the hell knows?
But bro, what a trade, man, dude. I was literally laying down watching TV. and I'm about to knock out, and I see this trade happen, bro. My heart starts beating fast. I'm up for the next 2 hours. I'm looking at Twitter, just reading all the tweets and looking at the trade details and all this and all that. And I'm just like, bro, man, what a insane trade, bro. Insane.